Hello, first to third podcast community. Uh,
Do
Playoff
we have a
baseball is
do we have
upon
a
us.
community?
Community, yes, the whole community, nothing but the community. Oh well, I forgot to hit this music as well, so it's going to be a little delayed, but we got to hit it. So it's tradition. It's part of the broadcast. So, uh, man, glad to join you guys. Talk about some playoff baseball. We got Berrick, Robby, and I'm traveling again, so new digs. I think I got better lighting in this hotel room than I do at my house, so I feel like I'm looking pretty good.
Looking fresh. You're looking fresh.
This isn't even a ring light. It's just like a normal lamp in this room. Like pretty crazy. Also, for like podcast world, I don't know if I can show this technically or not, but like, is this not the biggest TV in like hotel room history?
There we go. All right.
That's like legit, like a 65-inch mounted TV. So
they knew there was a game on. They're like, we're gonna get you in the good room.
I'm telling you, I'm not complaining. That's for sure. So, how you guys doing? Having a good week so far, Berrick?
Yeah, man. Yeah, not too bad. We're getting rolling down here and just enjoying the postseason baseball, man. It just kind of puts a different energy in the air. So it's a lot of fun.
Love it. Yeah, it's been a real good weekend. Rob, things settling down for you a little bit. Finally feeling planted in the new gigs.
We got rid of the last box just a few hours ago, and it was glorious.
Nice.
And it was glorious.
Box free since '93, baby. box free since 3 p.m.
Yeah. Oh no, but
awesome.
moving's difficult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is nice to kind of have all of your stuff where you are, and it's been good. It's been really good. We're excited, and I like my new podcast space.
Yeah, you got your own studio. Good lighting.
Yeah.
You gonna like that in January?
I was gonna say you might need some heat.
I already got the Carhartt socks on. It's a balmy.
Not a sponsor.
It's a balmy 45 right now, and probably gonna get chillier. So if this comes up, you just know what's happening. But no, that's good.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at stand-up propane heaters to go in here, just right over top. Just
don't melt the screen. I've seen that happen before.
Oh yeah. No. Or I could just get a little hot tub situation out here.
Those little hand warmers and stuff them in your pants and stuff. You'll be fine.
There you go.
Nah, just get a little hot tub, and then I could invite you all into the hot tub.
Then it becomes a time of fame.
If you joined us last week, you will remember that Rob gave me one of these because I think his teeth started chattering a little bit. So that's now become the podcast sign for all right.
So now it's the hood. Now it's the hood.
Now it's the hood. That's right. If the hood comes up, wrap this up. Well, I guess here we go. That's too funny.
Efficiency is our middle name.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Is Will Myers like a legit first baseman?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far.
He has made several amazing plays in this elimination game 3 with the Mets.
I'm just saying, like, all first basemen are athletes. So, like, let's not discredit the fact that he's playing at first base.
I'm not saying that they're not, Scotty. What I'm saying is
let's not skip. Yeah, is Will Myers that guy?
There is Albert Pujols first base and Freddie Freeman first base, and a whole lot of room in between.
Fair enough. Maybe Will Myers falls in the middle of that category then. So
maybe. There is Marcelo Ozuna in left field. There is
anybody else.
anyone else.
That's awesome. All right. Well, before we get into it, we are going to do a stack bet recap, but it's going to be a little bit different because this is a stack bet recap of the end of the season. So regular season standings are finished. And for those of you that may be joining us for the first time, stack bets are just a friendly competition that we have created for ourselves to just have some competition throughout the season on the podcast where we throw out different bets throughout the season. We did a fairly good job. We're 26 episodes in. I'd say we probably did this segment 20, 22, 23-ish. So pretty solid. So I bet everybody that has tuned in and listened to this can probably guess who the winner of was, and that would be Drew. He finishes the regular season with 705 stack bets in the account. I made up some ground in the last week, though. I second with 625, so I only finished 80 behind. That's not bad. I went bankrupt halfway through, so pretty solid. Berrick finished in third with 270. Robby finished in fourth with 180, and Kenny, who sadly due to things was unable to participate a whole lot, but he finishes in fifth with 90.
He gets a DNF
there.
Non-applicable.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think he made probably 4 stack bets on the season. So nonetheless. So we that is the stack bets. So that takes us into really the main topic here. MLB playoffs.
Hey, off baseball.
So for those of you that may not have been paying attention or seen, the new playoff format kicked off this weekend on Friday with the wild card teams. We have now 6 playoff teams from each league, American and National League. And the top 2 seeds get a bye in the first round. The 3 seed plays the 6, and the 4 seed plays the 5 seed in a 3-game series. All 3 games higher place. And so this weekend, that meant the Guardians hosted the Rays in the American League, and the Blue Jays hosted the Mariners. And then the Mets hosted the Padres, and the Cardinals hosted the Phillies. So it's a pretty solid weekend of baseball, to be honest. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll tell you, I like this format in the first round mainly because Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday, you could have 4 playoff games throughout the day, and that's pretty awesome. That's pretty sweet. Unfortunately, for Major League and MLB, 3 series were handled in a series sweep. The only game, and it's currently still going, is the Mets and Padres went to a game 3. And currently, at the time of recording this podcast, the Padres are winning over the Mets 4-0. So that's pretty shocking, to be honest. People expected the Mets to lose this. So what do you guys think? What do you think of the new format? What do you think of 6 teams in the playoffs? The bye, that kind of stuff. What do you have?
Robby, you want to go?
I like it. I like how it builds. The coolest part about it for me is the number of pitching matchups. Like everybody gets an opportunity to put their number ones against number. I mean, just in the Padres and Mets series alone, it was Scherzer and Darvish and DeGrom and Blake Snell, and I mean even tonight Bassett and Musgrove. Like these, like you just. It's really cool to see the pitching matchups. It's really cool to see. I also like the fact that the higher seed gets all 3 of the games. They're the home team the whole time. So there's an advantage to being a higher seed. Not to mention, there's a huge advantage for these top 2 teams in each side to line up their pitching, get everybody off their feet for a couple of days, and heal up the injuries and be ready to go at home against a wild card winner. But I think it's going really well.
Yeah, I think I like it a lot too. I think the format so far has been really good. I think 4 games is a really nice number to just kind of dive into the playoffs with. I think the only downside would have been if we didn't have this game today. It would have been kind of a bummer to have all 4 series end after 2 games. But I think with having this kind of, I don't know if you want to call it like a little teaser, but just like an extra game today, I think has been really nice to look forward to all day. So I think the format's been really, really good. I've liked it a lot. I think, like Robby said, the pitching matchups are really interesting because you're not only, wondering about the current series, but you got to plan for the next series too if you're planning on getting there. So I think that's been a lot of fun. I think it's been a win for Major League Baseball so far, and I don't know how many times we can actually say that, but I think it's been good.
It's a heck of a lot better than the 1-game wild card, like a game 163.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a lot better than that.
Absolutely.
If you go down 0-1, you still have a chance. I know it's a 3-game set, and most people in baseball don't love 3-game sets, aren't in love with it. But I think that's the number for this wild card round.
I will say though, how would changing it to 5 games really be a big problem or difference? Because I feel like that could be done, and I think it would work out, and I think that would be kind of a little bit more enjoyable. But I don't know. You guys know a little bit more about how that would work than I do.
I think you mess with. I think then you start having to add in a travel day.
Yeah.
You start to have you had to add in an off day,
possibly 2.
And then the team that, like, there are 2 teams who are not playing in either side. Then you're talking about not playing baseball for over a week.
Yeah, true.
Whereas like right now, and I mean we'll see how it goes, but I could completely botch this and completely flip on this opinion if the Braves come out and are dog terrible. But at the same time, it's like having that, that's the benefit of winning and being one of the top 2 teams in your league.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Like adding in the travel days, I feel like they could make that work. But I do think if you're looking at like 7 or maybe even 8 days off, as the bye team, that would be a long time, and I could see where that would be kind of detrimental. So I'm sure they'll look at it like going forward, but I think so far the 3-game series has worked really well. It's been fun. We'll
see. It'll be interesting to see how these teams compete against like if let's say the Padres win, and how they compete against the Dodgers, or how the Guardians compete against the Yankees.
Are you expecting? I don't think it's going to have too big of an effect. I guess you never know, but.
Well, they were making a big deal about the pitching, and then before we got on here, they're like, you have to use your number 1 and your number 2, and it's like, okay, so you get 1 game, and I know you can't bring back your number 1 or your number 2 for a second start in a 5-game series, but nobody really ever did that except for a game 1 starter and a game 5 starter.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
If that happens, I just think that it's. I don't know if they were hyping that up. The fact that all these teams are going to have to use their pitchers. It's like, yeah, but Max Scherzer still go game 2, and actually you're probably at a disadvantage.
You're always going to have that problem. That's just part of baseball. That's part of playing in series. You're going to have to face that. When do I use this pitcher problem at some point? So I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think the difference and the issue that it makes is its matchup. Because like Rob said, in the wild card round, you're going 1 for 1, 2 for 2, maybe, or you're going 1 to 2, 2 to 1. But now you're potentially like this Mets Padres series, for instance. Like if the Mets were to figure out how to win this game, Carlos Carrasco is probably having to face the Dodgers number 1. Well, that's advantage Dodgers.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the advantage, right?
But see, this is what happens. But then you got Max Scherzer coming on game 2, and that's your number 1. And so,
well, and to that point, the Dodgers might not pitch number 1 game 1 then because they know they're facing a 4. So now maybe they put their number 2 out there and put number 1 in the second game. So again, it's where the chess match comes in, and that's where you don't want to take that out of the game. By having the one game wild card series. And we got a comment in the chat, Derpy Gaming was saying that the Yankees don't have deep pitching. I would agree. And so I think it depends on the roster. So if you've got 2 studs at the top of your rotation and that's all you have, then yeah, playing in that wild card round is a huge disadvantage because now you're off your guys. But in the Braves situation, they've got, if Strider's healthy, that's 4 dudes. You're okay. You know what I'm saying? So it truly does depend on the staff and the team. I think from the Braves standpoint, and this was kind of the argument I was making, I think for the pitching staff, especially given Strider's injury, this is now 5 extra days on top of what he was getting already for him to get healthy and come back. And so I think that's this wild card series without him. Now, could it hurt the offense and hurt that momentum? 100%. But I think from a pitching staff standpoint, and especially the bullpen, with as much as the Braves rely on them, I think this rest is much needed compared to, having to play in that series in this Mets, situation that they're going through right now. So
I'll be interested to see how it goes. What with all of this happening, it wouldn't surprise me if the Braves, if a team like the Braves kind of struggles a bit and then turns it on. Dodgers, same kind of thing. I mean, they've been in these series before for a long time, and so I hope that the intensity level matches the other, and I just hope that is not a problem for the Braves.
Yeah,
that's what I worry about.
Yeah,
I also hate playing the Phillies. I can't stand
what's
that.
interesting.
Like that.
I know.
You want to?
Yeah, let's jump right into that. We'll start with that. Yeah, we'll start with that series then. So the Phillies go into St. Louis and end up sweeping the Cardinals. The Phillies kind of win in dramatic fashion.
Surprised by that?
Yes and no. Yes, I would say. Well, no, I would say I was also surprised. Not yes that you were the only one. The Phillies are a good team. I just didn't think they had the pitching to do it. That was my thing.
They had
2 studs. Yeah.
They have the 2 studs, and the Cardinals. I would say the Cardinals, in terms of starting pitching, were one of the weaker teams in the playoffs. I mean, their number 1 was Jose Quintana, right? And then Miles Michaelis. And so, those names aren't. They're good. They're good pitchers, but neither one of them is gonna.
Yeah.
Neither one of them is gonna go out and throw 7 shutout innings.
Yeah. I mean, they still heavily relied on Wainwright too. So, I mean, he's that kind of veteran. But, I mean, again, he's in his last year on his last kind of hurrah. So
if we go back to what we were talking about with the pitching, though, wouldn't that you were saying how the Phillies just kind of have those two guys and that's it? That should make you feel pretty good if you're a Braves fan, right?
Well, yes, but and I will go back to when I was coaching in college baseball. We were sitting in Omaha, Nebraska, waiting to see if we were going to play Miami or Florida. And I remember very distinctly.
Miami is in Florida, sir.
The University of Miami or the University of Florida. And I remember our pitching coach distinctly saying, you do not want to play a team that has already seen you. And yes, everybody has played everybody. We've played the Phillies. We've also played the Cardinals. But, we played 19 games against the Phillies. We're not sneaking up on them. Nothing's going to catch them off guard. Nothing, they're not going to catch us off guard. The Braves off guard. So,
and I guess that's kind of what I was getting at, though, was that I think it really just is going to come down to matchups and talent, talent difference. I think that's where Atlanta has the advantage, I would imagine.
I know, but baseball's so fickle, man. The ball just rolls funny sometimes.
Yeah.
And when it's rolling your way, it just feels amazing.
Yeah, it does. It does. I was trying to pull this up and take a look at what the head-to-head for the Braves and the Phillies was this season, and it's not giving it to me without having to do some counting, so maybe I try to do this in a different way. It's wanting to give me a 3-year history, and I'm like, I don't want 3. I mean, yeah, it's, so I'll give you this. In the last 3 years, the Braves have won the series head-to-head 26-22. So that's how close these two teams played even over the last 3 seasons. So,
and I will say this. Power bats, power pitching. That wins in the playoffs. I mean, we're seeing it here. The Mets are having trouble scoring runs because they can't hit the ball out of the ballpark. Those types of things are formulas for winning. And the Harper, Realmuto, Hoskins, Castellanos, they got some dudes who can drive the baseball out of the park. And then they got power pitching. Shoot, even in their bullpen, that Brogdon kid, the Alvarado, the lefty, Suarez. That range. Well, Suarez and they have power stuff, and that plays in the playoffs. It plays, so it's going to be a tough. This is going to be a tough one for the Braves.
Point, Berrick, when you've got those. Yeah. I was going to say, too, when you've got those two studs, if those two studs both pitch out of their absolute mind and that bullpen doesn't have to get used, that plays a big factor, too. So, we'll see. I counted it real quick. Let's assume the Braves Phillies 19 times and actually got all those games in, which I think they did. They went 11-8 against the Phillies this year. So, again, I mean, but the Braves have home field advantage. Games 1, 2 in Atlanta. Game 3 and 4 will be in Philly, and then Game 5, if necessary, would also be back in Atlanta. So that makes me feel good. I think the Braves have the potential to win both games in Atlanta and take a 2-0 lead. And then they just got to find one in Philly.
All right.
So
how would
should we save predictions for a little bit later, or you want to go ahead and dive into them?
We'll save them to the end.
Okay.
How would you like the Braves to line up their starting pitching? Let's assume that Spencer Strider is healthy.
I would probably keep them then. I would probably keep them in the order. Well, not. I mean, because when did we say that Wheeler could pitch game 2?
2 and 3 are going to be theirs.
Wheeler and Nola. Maybe more Fried, right? So Fried and Wright in Philly. Let Strider start at home game 2.
And who starts game 1?
If he's going to start. Morton.
Strider? Ooh.
Morton game 1, Strider game 2.
Oh, I was thinking Fried
Also,
game 1, so you could bring him back game 5.
So Fried, Strider, Wright, Morton.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good problem to have. I wouldn't hate that.
No. Plus, there's a part
Your
of
logic
me
makes more sense though to have Fried in game 5.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, I just want to see who can throw a harder fastball, Zach Wheeler or Spencer Strider.
Yeah.
Just like every fastball's 99 or above the entire night.
Yeah. I think it would be key to give Strider the start at home if he's going to pitch. I don't think throwing a rookie in his first playoff appearance is probably the smartest move, if I had to guess.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
That's
I
the
think he
thing,
can
though,
handle
is you got to dance with the ones who brought you, and like these rookies, like Spencer Strider should get Cy Young votes. Michael Harris is. I mean, they're going to be 1-2 rookie of the year. Like Brian Sticker hit him 3rd in the biggest series, most influential series, probably in the regular season in a long time. So it's like,
yeah, who knows?
I don't know. Dance with the one who brought you.
So what do you guys think? Like, not to move away from the Braves, but what are we thinking the biggest surprise so far has been? Are we thinking is it the Phillies? Is it the Mets? What are we thinking the biggest surprise has been so far?
Mets for me. I mean,
I would say. Go ahead.
You got it, Scotty. It's the Mets for me.
Yeah. Sorry. Also, with me traveling, I'm on hotel Wi-Fi, so I apologize if I'm cutting in and out. It kind of just is. I'm playing the cards that are dealt right now with the world. But
we love you, Scotty.
I get so Berrick. Back to your question: are you talking biggest surprise nationally?
No. I'm talking just in general for the playoffs so far.
Or are you talking just how well the Mariners played as a new? I mean, that any points on that roster. They came back from was it a 7-run deficit? Like that's impressive to me.
Yeah. So like Scotty was saying, it sounds like he was going with the Seattle kind of coming back and taking out Toronto, which was definitely surprising. I mean, I know Seattle's a really good team, and they definitely came on there at the end. But I personally was surprised by that too. I thought Toronto was playing really, really hot there at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, but Seattle was very aggressive at the deadline and got Luis Castillo, and again, it kind of goes back to talking about with Luis Castillo and the amount of pitching that they had. I watched them play 2-3 games this year, and it was against the Braves, and I did not feel like we were significantly better of a team. That's a really good team, and they also have some power, and that's kind of. And also playing the Rogers Center, playing it in Toronto, that thing is a bandbox. I mean, it is a little bit like a college baseball, game, like if you're up 6, you better add on because it can turn quickly in that place. And
Seattle pretty much went all, like you mentioned at the trade deadline. They I mean, I guess you can't say they went all in, but they went pretty close to try and make this year the year. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I still, maybe it's because I watched a lot of AL East games with the Orioles, but I thought Toronto was gonna come out like Vlad was like a no-show for the whole series, which was really surprising.
Yeah, I mean, that was the issue they had with a lot of their stars. I mean, and again, like Alek Manoah put together an okay start, but I mean, he allowed the Mariners to come out and really kind of, get to him, put some pressure on the bases, and ultimately put across some runs. And like I said, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Robby? You said that was the Mets?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has been talking about the Mets and the pitching that they have, and they have Edwin Diaz and DeGrom and Scherzer, and they won 101 games. And like, I know last night they beat the Padres, but I really haven't felt like the Padres are a wild card. Like, I really just haven't felt like they have been better. I mean, even talent-wise. I mean, look at the Padres lineup. Yeah. Soto and Machado and Josh Bell. I mean, they are like they are loaded, and they don't even have Tatis Jr.
I was gonna say they don't even have the main guy.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Jerks and Profar's hitting leadoff, man. He'd be hitting 9th if Tatis was in there.
Yeah. No doubt.
And just watching Snell. I mean, even Snell last night. Now he was spraying it all over the yard, all over the zone. But like throwing 97, and I don't know. These two teams seem to be the most evenly matched, and they had been touting it all since the matchup happened. I just haven't felt like it was very even.
Well, think about it, like going into or for most of the season, these two teams were legitimate World Series contenders, like especially the Mets. Like it was not like there's a lot of people, I call them pundits or whatever, that were, out there saying the Mets are legit, favorites. So I think I would agree with you. Like I think Seattle is surprising, but the biggest one, has to be the Mets. Like I don't think many people saw this coming.
Yeah, and they got 3 outs. I mean, it's bottom. They just got bottom of the 8th. I mean, Diaz is in there, and actually Edwin Diaz went and gave up 2 runs. And they brought their horse in, but for me, it really is just. I felt bad watching their fans because it felt like they just they wanted it too tight that they choked it. Yeah, they were just so desperate, and we're here and we can do it, and it's just like you squished it.
I it's one of those things where I think. Here's a question I have for you guys. I kind of have my thoughts on this, but Buck Showalter seemed to manage that team very differently in the Braves series, in the National series, and then even in this Padres series. How does Edwin Diaz not pitch a single inning in that Braves series?
So he has a history of this, right? Remember going back when he was the skipper of the Orioles and they were in the playoffs against the Toronto Blue Jays, and a lot of people say he just straight up choked by not putting Zach Britton in at the end of the game. So I think, I like Buck Showalter a lot personally, but I do think there's something there that, like, if you want to say, like, when the lights start to shine bright, he doesn't freeze up, but he makes some interesting choices. So. Yeah, no, I think there's kind of a history there of that.
Yeah. Well, and even the last couple nights, I don't understand. Like, he brought in Edwin Diaz in the 7th inning yesterday. Like, does he just not have the confidence in the rest of his bullpen?
Well, it's funny.
Get him? but because he hasn't done that all season.
That's the thing. Is it's like people get on Brian Snicker, and he's an old school manager. He doesn't play these many matchups. Like we pretty much have an idea. If it's set up, Iglesias gets the seventh, Minter's getting the eighth, Kinley's getting the ninth. All right.
Pretty much doesn't matter who's coming up.
However, and this is where I wanted to kind of compound on what you said, Scotty. He's not putting guys in situations where they've never done it before. McHugh has had multiple innings. Minter's gone out, sat down, and come back out. So in an effort to kind of get them prepared, he does it with them. But for the most part, he tries to stick to the order as best he can, which has been criticized yet worked a lot. So I don't know. Obviously, he's got Edwin Diaz in the game. Well, he doesn't have Edwin Diaz in here anymore, but they're down 6-0, and he gave up 2 runs. Yeah. So, I mean, now what you're just hoping for is a miracle, but here comes Hader.
Yeah. And I get that. I get that we're playing 2020 and hindsight always wins, but I just, to our point of what we're talking about, like I haven't, again, I'm going to put my hand up and say I haven't watched every Mets game of the season, but I don't recall seeing, he was coming in for the 9th to close the games. I don't recall seeing many situations where he was coming in the 7th because he felt like that's what they needed to get through and, figure it out. Now, I will say this. Do I agree that it could be a good strategy that, hey, they got the top of the order coming up in the 7th inning. I would rather Edwin Diaz go out there and get 1, 2, 3 in the 7th and then allow the rest of the bullpen to maybe get the bottom half of that order out. Like maybe, but like you have to have trust in the rest of the guys in your bullpen to get those 3 outs, 6 outs, like whatever it's going to look like. So I don't know. To me, it just feels like he's managed this team very differently down the stretch, and even in this playoff series, than he has all season.
Well, he hasn't been. I mean, the Braves weren't on his heels the whole season.
Yeah.
Fair. It's different when you got somebody nipping on your heels, especially when you've. It sucks, but they're about to get eliminated in the first round of playoffs, and they won 101 games this year.
Yeah.
So what do you think, not that we need to dive like super deep into Mets offseason, but what do you think they do after this? Because there's going to be a lot of powerful, quote unquote, people, yelling to bust it up or for drastic changes. So what do you think the Mets do?
Nah, they've spent too much money. They're going to have to either convince DeGrom to stay there or renegotiate. They have to. Edwin Diaz is a free agent.
Yep.
And
they got a lot of pitching needs to address.
And all filling out a bullpen, and they're also going to need to get some more power bats. Jeff McNeil's frustratingly difficult to get out, but if the next guy grounds into a double play, Again, I don't love the way the game goes right now because I think contact and putting the ball in play, especially now in the playoffs, is huge. But getting 3 singles of guys throwing 100 is very hard.
Yeah. Well, and I think to the point of what we're talking about, it is very rare in baseball that you put together big name players and that team has ultimate success. Because those big name players don't always gel together in the clubhouse. Those big name players don't always gel on the field together. And so that's where I think, and again, obviously we're a little biased because we're Braves fans, but I think that's where the Braves have had an advantage over the last few years is they don't have the best guy at every position, but they've got guys that are bought into that team, guys that are bought into that clubhouse. And Berrick, you've not necessarily done it on a baseball field, but you've done it on a football field. You've done it in other things.
Hey, Little League at Swain, baby. What's up?
But Rob and I have been in dugouts where you are on a team where you truly feel you're in it together and you never feel out of a baseball game. And I think that's what the Braves have been able to do a very good job of building. And so I think that is a difference. And so like when I hear, the Mets and Steve Cohen on Twitter and stuff talk about like, oh, we're going to go sign Aaron Judge and that's going to fix our team. Like, you've got a lot of pitching issues you got to address. Obviously, if Aaron Judge comes and hits 40, 50 home runs for you in addition to the rest of the guys in that lineup, is that going to help? Sure. But I don't know if that signing all of a sudden makes you a World Series winning team. Like, it obviously boosts your odds and makes it,
Did Cohen
gives you
go
a
out
good
there and
shot.
did Cohen go out there and say they're going to sign Aaron Judge?
There's been a lot of people saying that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's an inference in the fact that he's basically said like he has no budget. Like, he's not afraid to pay. And it would make sense because then Judge could stay in New York. And so if he's willing to give Judge $550,000, $600,000, whatever the money's going to be, I don't think it's going to be that much. But
I don't claim to obviously be a Mets insider, but like, look at what Cohen's done so far. He likes the shiny things. Like he likes and Aaron Judge is the shiny thing that's coming up. So I think it'd be crazy not to think that they're going to at least be in the running. But like, to your point, Scotty, the question is, does that really make a huge difference? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, it can't hurt, right?
No. But it's not like both you and Robby both said, like their bigger need seems to be pitching. So, you're not addressing unless they're planning on just spending bukus of money and just like going after every notable free agent, then, it doesn't address their biggest need.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, where we're at.
That's why the Mets have been a letdown, is because that's kind of what, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Baseball in the summer in New York City was the talk of the town.
Uh-huh.
And the Yankees are having drama and have significantly fallen off. I mean, they were talking about the Yankees breaking the Mariners' 2001 win record not too long ago.
Yeah.
And the Mets are 3 outs and Josh Hader away from looking towards 2023.
Yeah,
and so to me that's a letdown.
Oh yeah.
To me that's a letdown.
How do you guys? So what are we? I don't know what you got next on the agenda, Scotty. But what, like, kind of looking forward to the next round? What are we looking forward to? I mean, obviously we're all interested in how the Braves do against the Phillies, but is that kind of the main series, or is there any other series that kind of catches your eye?
They just showed the Padres. They just showed the Padres Dodgers, and I didn't realize this. The Dodgers went 14-5.
Yeah, I just looked that up. Yeah.
And they don't exactly like each other.
That's going to be a good series. I hate the fact that they have 2 West Coast teams playing against one another for time purposes, because they're just going to keep stuffing the Braves at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that one's already been established.
Yeah. But you know what? Screw it. You got to win when you play.
Yeah.
So, as far as the National League, I think the National League is really, really intriguing. I think the Yankees and the Astros are inevitably going to meet. Yeah. I hope not. I hope they get the. I hope not, but I don't. There's more of a. Like, I could see the Padres going in there and playing well against the Dodgers and upsetting them. I could see the Dodgers rolling them. I could see the Braves playing really well against the Phillies. I could see the Phillies going in there and putting up a tough fight. Like, there's not an inevitability with the National League as much as I feel like there is with the American League.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I don't know. That Seattle-Houston series is really interesting to me. I think that's going to be. I hope it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the end of the Blue Jays Mariners series?
Yeah.
Did you watch? So did you see at the end of the game they were like panning to the pockets of Mariners fans in Toronto?
Yeah.
And you see all the guys lining. They're like all of the Blue Jays fans are filing out, and this row of Mariners fans is like going nuts, going crazy. And one of the Blue Jays fans on ESPN live TV flips a bird to the camera, like just sticks it like literally like right in front of the camera.
That's Toronto for you.
That's awesome.
And I was like, and the screen went gray for like a couple of seconds and then came back, and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we kind of chatted about this. I didn't throw it up there on the screen, but the Mariners sweep the Blue Jays, as we talked about. The Guardians sweep the Rays. I mean, it's probably to the common fan the most boring game that's happened in the postseason, but one of the most entertaining games of the postseason would probably have to be that Guardians-Rays game yesterday afternoon. I got put in the doghouse a little bit on that one because we were trying to go out to dinner, and the game was supposed to be over, and all of a sudden we go into the 15th inning, and Elizabeth was a little upset with me, the fact that the game was over, and I'm like, it's the playoffs. Like,
anything happens.
It's time for us to go eat.
So, but I mean, Guardians get a huge win. Their city and town is going ballistic. Now they get the fortunate pleasure of going to New York. No, wait a minute. The 3-6 matchup. They're going to New York.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
Start spreading the news.
So that's going to be interesting. I don't know how they're going to play in New York. I think that is advantage Yankees, in my opinion.
Garrett Cole.
Ooh,
bye-bye.
Again, do you start Nestor Cortez game 1 and go Garrett Cole game 2? I don't know. So,
I think most of the teams that are running buys are going to run their number ones.
Yeah, they're going to stick it. Yeah.
Who's the Dodgers number? Like, who's the Dodgers number 1?
Urias
or Kershaw?
Is he healthy?
I don't know.
They haven't announced it yet.
If Walker Buehler was healthy, Buehler was healthy, holy cow, man!
Oh yeah,
Urias, Buehler, Gonsolin, Kershaw.
The Yankees already announced they're going Cole.
Yeah. Ooh.
And the Astros announced Verlander.
I didn't realize the Yankees were so conservative with the Cole.
Did you guys see that video circulating of Garrett Cole like doing that pregame speech where he like couldn't get words out? It was
having a stroke.
No, it was just like he just didn't know what to say. Like it's like they asked him to get up in front of the team and like say something, and he was just like,
"Let's go out there and give him something, yo, boy."
I'm not sure. Yeah,
caught hit it real good.
Ball go real fast.
you can put your hands down, Ricky.
Spider tack, real good. But anyway,
that was nice.
Yeah.
How about Joe Musgrove going 7 shutout?
Yeah.
In an elimination game. That's, I mean, in a situation where it's very rare for starters to get into the 6th inning, and he goes 7 shutty.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. So to your point, Berrick, looking ahead, we've got in the American League, we've got the Mariners at Houston. We've got Guardians at New York. In the National League, we've got I'm not going to say it. It's looking like the Padres. They need one more out.
It's the Padres. Come on.
Where are you, Drew? Where are you, Scotty?
Marte's getting ready to come up.
Oh, he's getting ready to come up?
Am I like way behind?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 0-2. So I was also
Okay.
going to tell you, if you've never watched a baseball game in a mirror, because that's what I'm having to do because the TV is behind me, Josh Hader throwing right-handed is filthy.
yeah, it is. Marte's
anyway.
got a good left-handed swing right there, man.
Yeah.
Solid.
So anyway,
He should be a switch hitter.
yeah. So Padres looking like at the Dodgers, and then the Phillies at the Braves. I think it's intriguing in the National League that both lower seeds won and kind of somewhat pulled the upset, and now we have two division kind of foes. So that's fascinating. That's a storyline. You don't really have that in the American League. You get the traditional kind of, mix of teams, which could make for interesting baseball because they don't really know each other. And so
it also makes for an interesting championship series in the National League because it's going to be an East team versus a West team.
Yep.
Regardless of what happens. I love the dichotomy, the juxtaposition.
One quick thing that I will just mention to your guys' point, you were talking earlier about how it was, baseball was the talk of, New York baseball was the talk of the summer, and how at one point they were talking about the Yankees breaking the Mariners record. I think in a weird way that helped the Dodgers because the Dodgers have been a very quiet, and I mean that like somewhat sarcastically, but also seriously. They were a quiet 108 game winning team. Like they were not getting talked about a lot. Their guys weren't getting talked about a lot. I mean, Freeman, Mookie, like all these dudes just like raking. Trey Turner, like I mean, they got a team, dude. Like, so I think that's getting ready to hit the spotlight in the playoffs. And I would not put it past them to just continue a dominance over the Padres and just like stomp their foot on their throat, possibly. Like, so we'll see. But
I hope it's a close and fun series. But I agree. Like,
does
I
my
think
screen?
the Dodgers could come out and just be like, yeah, we're good. We're gonna move on.
I know I'm watching this game in a mirror, but does my screen appropriately say the Mets picked up one hit in a wild card deciding game?
Yes, that's right. That's correct, Scotty. I actually just turned my sound off and the sound on my iPad on to see if the Mets fans were booing. I didn't hear it.
It's happening. It's got to be happening. Come on. It's
One hit. That's wild. That is wild. So good for the Padres. I'm excited. Playoff baseball. I mean, again, it's cliche. It's playoff baseball. I'm obviously pumped. Tuesday is going to be a cool day because all four teams play. On
Braves
Tuesday,
go first,
I think, right?
The defense begins.
Because so that's a quick topic of conversation, real quick. I know we're trying to be efficient tonight. We kind of chatted about this in our group text. So what's up with because on Tuesday it is all four teams playing, right? And then it's weird because Wednesday the American League is off.
Yeah.
For game 2 but the NL plays. So it's weird because the AL's getting a weird like day off at the beginning of the series, but the NL gets an extra day rest at the end of their series, which I feel like is just, I don't know. That's a weird format to me, but
I'm sure it had to be TV related, right? Like they wanted to spread out they didn't want, too many games competing against each other throughout the week, which I totally get. I mean, I understand that.
I agree.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. You guys want to do projections, picks
Let's
for
do
the division series?
Sure.
Just
division series.
Just division series.
Are we doing just winners or are we doing winners and games played?
I think we can do games. You want to make that can be like a tiebreaker kind of thing.
Okay.
If you get the series, that's one, because that's what we were trying to say. Like, I don't think trying to do the stacked bets pot that we kind of had mentioned is probably going to play out just because we kind of missed the wild card series. So maybe just picking these series, and we can use games as tiebreakers. So
before we do this, how old is Buck Showalter? Is he like older?
Young.
Is he like old?
Let me get the stats department on that real quick.
I think he's early 70s, isn't he?
Buck Showalter is 66 years old.
Okay.
He was born May 23rd, the year 1956 of our dear Lord and Savior.
In the year of our Lord 1944.
The way you said that, Scotty, I was like, God, 1900. How is he only 66?
Jeez, he was there. He was there to sign the Magna Carta.
My boy was dead.
He did.
He took Honus Wagner's rookie card picture that's out there.
Holy cow.
So before the podcast started, Drew hopped on to just kind of chat with us a little bit, but he did throw in his division series predictions. So Drew has in the American League the Guardians in 5 in an upset there. That is what he said, right?
Why don't we just go around the room and we'll pick each series? So Drew's for that series was Guardians in 5.
Yep, Drew is Guardians in 5 for that series. Berrick, you want to go next?
Yankees in 4.
Yankees in 4. Love it.
Yankees in 5.
Yankees in 5. And I actually, I'm taking Yankees in 4 with Berrick on that one.
Ooh.
So just to kind of keep this fair, I won't go in the same order so people don't think I'm just piggybacking off other people's picks in this as well.
You don't want to piggyback off mine, so nobody's worried about that.
Next AL game, we've got Astros against the Mariners. I will just, since Drew already put his in, I'll just go ahead and say those. Drew has the Astros in 5 against the Mariners. This is a really hard one for me. I really like the Mariners, and if you remember, I picked the Mariners to win that division at the beginning of this season.
Did you?
True.
For real?
Yeah. I think I'm taking Mariners in 5. I'm gonna lock it in. Mariners in 5.
I am also going Mariners in 5.
Oh boy.
Nope. You guys
and Scotty are lockstep here, boys.
You guys are both wrong. Astros in 4. Astros in 4.
All right, Robbie's got Astros in 4.
Astros in 4. And Verlander starts game 1 of the ALCS.
All right. Next series, we'll move to the National League. We'll go Dodgers, Padres. Rob, you want to lead us off on that one?
Dodgers in 4. I wanted to do 3 so bad. Dodgers in 3.5. Dodgers in 4.
Dodgers blow a save in Game 3.
Kimbrel, no.
Doggone, this is a tough one. I'm right there with you, Rob. I think I'm going to do it. The Dodgers are good.
They're so good.
The Dodgers are good. I'm taking Dodgers in 3, which is like worst case scenario for the Braves. But
I just see a flashback. Like I'm sitting here watching Hader throwing 101, and I think, how on this planet did Freddie Freeman get to that ball off a Hader last year? At the top of the zone, at 100, lefty, looking at it like it coming out of his ear. And it's like, if Freddie Freeman can do that, what chance do the Padres have?
Yeah.
This is a chance that the Padres have. Screw Freddie Freeman. 5 games, Padres, baby. Let's go.
All right. So I think that's going to put Berrick the only one taking the Padres.
I'm getting me a Padres hat. I'm getting me a Padres jersey. I'm going to start speaking Spanish all week. Let's go.
They're in San Diego.
Basically Mexico.
Drew took Dodgers in 4. So him and Robby are lockstep on that one.
I'm renaming my dog Tatis.
Fernando Machado. I actually have a kid at school who named his dog Cap from Captain America.
I like it.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
What's your
save the best one for the last one? I think I know where most of us are probably going.
Can you feel the temperature out here?
Yeah. Do you just want to do a collective like 1, 2, 3, and all of us basically say the same thing?
You want me to just hold up the number?
Sure. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll all just hold the number up.
Okay.
All right.
1.
Hopefully this doesn't skip out.
2.
1,
2,
3.
And I got the Phillies, boys.
No, you don't.
No, Berrick. I will kill you.
Phillies in 5, boys.
No, I will not. I apologize for that statement. That was out of line and out of character. And Berrick, I hope you forgive me for this.
All right.
Wow. You
Wow.
know what? I just felt like
that took a turn.
You want to know what I just felt like I did? Here's another movie reference. In Semi-Pro, when Father Pat the Rev says Jackie Moone's mom didn't go to heaven. Well, maybe she didn't go to heaven. We're done.
Jeez.
Hey, put that hood up.
Too far,
All right.
Father Pat. Too far.
Well, just so we're on the same page now, since that did not go how I thought it was going to go.
Braves in 5 is my.
Drew has Braves in 4. Berrick has Phillies in 5. Robby has Braves in 5, and I have Braves in 4. So there you have it. The official divisional series predictions from the podcast. Just for transparency, we kind of had some conversation in the group text of ours. This weekend, I took the Ray. Hold on a second. Let me look at the group text. Well, no, that's like 19,000 text messages ago. I'm pretty sure I took the Rays. I did take the Mariners. I took the Mets and the Cardinals. So I think I only got one this weekend, if I remember my text message right. So I'm not off to a banging start, but here's to the divisional series. We'll see what happens. We'll text Kenny. We'll see if he'll actually give us some picks, and we'll post them in the thing so that everybody can see what the podcast has picked and take it from there. So he should still be awake. So all right, boys. Well, this has been a fun episode.
He told me to S my C. He said S my C. Sorry, I can't shake it.
I can't stop.
Let's get tropical.
There you go. You're gonna have to go watch that before you go to sleep now.
Oh yeah, get the funk out of my face. When
are you going home, Scotty?
So I will be headed home on Tuesday evening. So unfortunately, I believe I will be driving when the Braves game starts on Tuesday, which I'm not very happy about. Yeah. Actually, are they the very first game?
1 o'clock.
Oh Lord, I might miss that whole game completely. That makes me real mad. I thought they were the 4 o'clock game, so that's fun. So I'll be figuring something out with that. So there's that. So
play on the radio.
So, yeah.
Put it on the radio.
We'll see.
MLB app has all access radio.
Berrick, you want to let us know? Yeah. You want to let us know what are you looking forward to this week? Playoffs? Anything else other than that?
Yeah, I think the games are going to be a lot of fun. I'm hopefully starting my clinic down here this week. Hopefully, so
Nice.
Looking forward to getting that going. But yeah, I think we got a lot of fun games. I don't know Scotty, what our schedule is looking like, if we're going to try and do another podcast or something. But we're going to be locked in on the games and try and give the people what they want.
Yeah, we're for sure going to try to, give some updates. We might hop on for a short podcast, keep them quick and efficient, just as recap series and stuff as they come. But just a quick plug for our channels as we talk about Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Rob, what you looking forward to this week?
He's got the hood up.
He's literally frozen.
I am looking forward to a 4-day school week. I am looking forward to not having to unpack boxes at night. And I am looking forward to the Covenant baseball fall workout schedule starting next week.
Fantastic.
You guys get Columbus Day off tomorrow?
No.
Oh. What's your 4-day? What's the 4 days for?
Fall break.
Oh, okay.
Friday.
That school schedule, man. Us people in the real world don't have those luxuries.
Yeah, man. I tried to call patients and be like, nah, we ain't, Columbus Day, man. Your heart attack can wait. They don't like that too much.
Yes, but every single one of you also makes more money than I do, so there's that.
False.
Paging Dr.
I'm looking forward to the Braves starting the official postseason run. If you have not seen the Braves postseason hype video, go check out our Twitter.
Don't watch it before bed.
Holy cow. It will get you bumping.
You know what I watched before coming on the podcast tonight? I watched Tyler Madsick's highlights from the 2021 playoff run.
I thought he was going to say semi-pro.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah. That dude played out of his mind. For sure.
He is nowhere close to what he was last year, but he could have never thrown another pitch in Major League Baseball and been to the top.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe he'll light it up.
Yep. All right, boys. It's always a pleasure, as always. Appreciate you guys hopping on and talking some baseball and some playoffs. We hope you guys enjoyed this out in the community. As always, here, if you have any questions, segment ideas, just want to throw something at us, the email here on the screen, first23rdpod@gmail.com. That's the word first, the number 2, the word third, and pod@gmail.com. Again, as always, down in the description below, give us a shout out on Twitter or Instagram. We're over there. If you're here on YouTube, we appreciate you tuning in live and possibly on a recap. Let us know that you appreciate it by giving us a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. And we really appreciate any support that you have. For Berrick, for Rob, I'm Scott. And we'll look forward to some more playoff baseball with you guys in the days to come. Peace.